Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think today I must add my voice and say it's a glorious day. It is a very good day. For this piece of legislation, this bill, and the idea that we're going to be creating space for young people. Mr. Speaker, as I listen to our Prime Minister give the details of what this is about, I am sure members on the opposite side will want to debate the details. But I would say to them, Mr. Speaker, and I would say to everyone who is listening, that is the idea that our young people need to have an economic space is novel. This is first time, and this is a tremendous opportunity for young people. And I'll say why, Mr. Speaker, because I want to make use of the Survey of Living Condition and the Household Budget Survey of 2016. Yes. And of course, in 2016, the Survey of Living Condition highlighted that our labor force being 144,000, of which only 78% were participating. Therefore, you had unemployment in about 21%. And when you pay attention, and of course, Mr. Speaker, let me explain this, the household budget survey. Between November of 2015 to July 2016, the consultants remain with 1,433 homes, monitoring the expenditure during those months, what they were consuming, how they were living, to establish this very important poverty report. And when you see the number of persons participating in the job market, in the labor force, we recognize the high unemployment rate with our youth, our young people. And every year, as persons leave school, that number continues to grow. So our youth unemployment is high. One may ask the question, like the Prime Minister said, but we have concessions here. We have support over there. But there comes a time in your intervention where you need to focus, where you need to be deliberate, where you need to be purposeful. And of course, in this intervention, it's not just an economic intervention, but there is a safety net. Because when it comes for participating in the business of St. Lucia, when it comes for who participate in business or who have access to services of government, Mr. Speaker, there's always a fortunate few. There's always some individuals who are more able to access. And when an initiative like this youth economy comes on board, I am sure over the years it will evolve and you will hear more about it. But there's something special about the Labour Party government, because all of these agencies that is providing safety nets to our people, all of the agencies that is responding to our vulnerable population was established by the Labour Party administration. You talk about the National Conservation Authority. You talk about the St. Lucia Social Development Fund. You talk about the James Belgrave Fund that's doing microenterprise. We are in the business of always recognizing our vulnerable population and attempt to address issues specific to a special group. And this is vital, Mr. Speaker, because we may ask, where else in the region has someone given consideration that there should be a youth economy? One may ask, isn't it a general economic activity of everybody participating? Of course, yes, that exists. But why do we have a high rate of unemployment among our youth? And shouldn't that be a concern when we have to come here and pass a firearms bill to increase and deter young people from violent crime? Shouldn't it be appropriate also to consider how do you address the issue of our youth in the economy? And this is what I think persons should pay attention to. And I commend the Prime Minister for having the vision. And even if it's not accurate and it is not perfect in its presentation, the board of directors who will lead this organization will have it to evolve and respond to what young people want. And this is what I believe in. Because we are able. We have done it before and we'll do it again. So I commend, and let me say this, Mr. Speaker, in the survey of living condition, if you look at the issue in terms of unemployment and educational attainment, you notice that even while persons have increased in education, especially among the women, you still find high unemployment. So the gender sensitivity is an issue as well. So you have now persons with degrees, unemployed. The Prime Minister is saying that the youth economy will target these individuals. Mr. Speaker, I sit in a parliamentary office like most of my colleagues, and most of you would agree with me that most persons come to the office sometimes coming to look for a handout. They need some support. They cannot help to address the immediate need. When you have a youth economy, it will now start to cause young people to start to think, because on the menu of service is not just that we have educational assistance, it's not just that we are providing support to the senior persons, but now we have on the menu a youth economy, and we're engaging young people to come forward with your thoughts. Start to think, because there's business opportunity. And of course, when you look at the issue of the structure of our economy, a few businesses continue to dominate us as a country. Look, go through the land registry and find out who owns the city of Castries. How many local St. Lucians own properties and business in the city of Castries? Go up Grosile, find out who own businesses in that part of the island. How many locals own? We're not. And if we maintain the status quo and the business as is, we will be selling ourselves and our future, and we as St. Lucians will disappear as significant persons in the participation of the economy of St. Lucia. The youth economy is an important seed for transformation of the economy. It ties in with the SDGs, because one of the commitments made on one of the 6 pillars is to support our SMEs, our small micro businesses. This is one of the strategies. Right in our SDGs, the Prime Minister is on point. The Labour government again is delivering in a fundamental way to shape the minds of young people, to tell them that they need to participate in the economic business of this country. And of course, it will do well for the future of this country. So I ask members of the opposition, spare not to think of the details, because the able men of St. Lucia, men and women of St. Lucia will sit to govern this agency, will continue to lead it to where it ought to go, and bring it into good, safe, comprehensive, and productive harbors. But give your support to this initiative, because it will do well for our children and your children. I thank you.